Imagine a mountain pass that's closer to the heavens than it is at the sea. Its sharp curves and narrow passes give a feeling of exhilaration, while you marvel at the breathtaking view. The cold winds of the high elevation raises your hair, while the echoing sound of a V8.
Oh, we are so not there. But I was actually able to take this Mustang out on the open road through similar roads. And while we're here in a gated community, I think driving a convertible Mustang around these areas is actually the next best thing.
It's the first time Ford Philippines has brought in a Mustang convertible. And while much has been said about a large convertible's loss of rigidity from chopping off a roof, let's talk about that first.
Now, one of the drawbacks of having a large convertible is that the moment you chop off the roof, its rigidity is actually lost in translation. So, just imagine having a plank of wood and then there are two bits at each end, which means that the plank of wood just keeps on wobbling as it goes over through uneven surfaces and road bumps. And also, this car is actually heavier than the coupe. In order to, of course, compensate for the loss of the roof, the floor has to be strengthened, which means that the added weight has also resulted in a firm suspension in order to compensate for the weight in order to counteract body roll.
Normally, I prefer hardtops over convertibles. But with its Kona blue paint, black fabric roof, as well as the black 19-inch alloy wheels, I think I prefer the convertible when it is in this configuration. The front fascia has just the right amount of aggression, while the clear taillights do extremely look cool. Inside, the Mustang feels much more premium than I remember. Whereas previous Mustang interiors were made of scratchy hard plastics, this one has more soft touch materials. Elsewhere, you do get the wonderful sync-free infotainment system, which is still one of my favorite infotainment systems to use. In conjunction as a 12-inch fully digital instrument cluster, which is highly customizable, even down to the colors. The display changes according to the drive mode, or just based on your preferences. There's plenty of space up front, while two small people can fit at the back. With the roof stowed, headroom is infinite, but with the press of a button, it becomes claustrophobic in less than 20 seconds. Trunk space is quite good for a convertible. It still won't replace a Ford Ranger, that's for sure, but it's good enough for its intents and purposes. Okay, now let's see how it drives.
Now, apart from the loss of rigidity as a result of chopping off the roof, the Mustang actually grips the road quite well. Though of course, you still know that this is a muscle car, this is a Mustang, which means that you still have to be mindful of your right foot when you step on the throttle. But in most circumstances, at least if you're on smooth roads which won't upset the car's handling, the Mustang grips the road so well. There's actually plenty of grip from the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. And when driving through these mountain passes around our area, the Mustang's wheels actually do a good job of glowing onto the road. The seating is weighty, it's responsive, responds almost immediately to your inputs. Though there's a lot of feedback coming to the wheel, but apart from that, the steering is actually an A+ on my book. And then of course there are these extremely powerful Brembo brakes which really stop you into doing anything crazy.
Providing all the propulsion is a 5.0-liter V8 that produces these numbers. It's all made into a 10-speed automatic that shifts quickly and can also skip gears when upshifting or downshifting on its own.
Unfortunately, that gearbox has a tendency to change its mind when it downshifts. So for example, it drops down to 4th gear, then suddenly it's gonna change to 3rd gear, suddenly thinking that it's actually a better gear for overtaking. So if you want more control, of course you just have to use these paddle shifters. Now, one of the beautiful things about the Mustang is actually how normal the car feels. It just so happens that this normal car has a V8, a 5-liter V8, a loud obnoxious exhaust, and a lot of performance capability when you try to unleash it.
It's so civilized in fact that it features a host of semi-autonomous driver aids, like adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking.
But the beauty of the Mustang is not actually the performance and capabilities that the car has. It's actually how normal it is when it comes to these normal driving circumstances. But the Mustang convertible really has a place in this world. It may not be a track car just like the Mustang Coupe, but just like the iconic Big Mac, this Mustang convertible is actually what American dreams are made of.